Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not digitally pictured on your screen unless he's dressed as a penguin for Halloween, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with a brand new stream series. Jeff, I've titled this one right now for Welcome to Mario's Neighborhood. We are starting in the past. In fact, we're going back 40 years, 41 years to be specific.
No, it can't be that far. This is only 1984. That was like 20 years ago.
If only, Jeff. If only.
Yeah, so we wanted, there's a couple of, this is going to be our historical game, I think, for this year, or at least we'll see how far we go with it, but don't think we've really done anything like this before, building around a single player, other than, the Bedard stream for the Modern Hawks sort of did that last year, but this is an even bigger example of that. We've got the very terrible 1984 Pittsburgh Penguins who've just, let me show you the history here. See, the Penguins were decent through the 70s, never got really good. Had some fairly young, exciting young players for a while. They tended to fall off rather quickly, and then they switched their colors from the blue on blue and for their first dozen years or so. In 1980, or 79, the Steelers and the Pirates had both won the World Series and the Super Bowl. And they were both black and gold. So the Penguins figured they'd get on board with that and went to black on gold from blue on blue and immediately tanked. You see, they sort of got worse and worse through the first half of the 80s, and then... Go ahead, Adam.
I say it also caused some issues because Boston got very upset.
Yeah, basically took the Bruins' colors. And then come 1983, there was a kid in the Quebec League putting up huge point totals who looked like the closest thing to Gretzky. And there's no lottery in those days. So now I've got to be careful how I word this because it's never been proven. The Penguins seem to have a very bad season, even worse than their previous very bad season. Finished with a big total of 38 points, 16 wins in 80 games. And were handily in last place and wound up with the first overall pick, which they used on Mario Lemieux. So, was it a tank? Who knows?
Yes.
Can't prove it. But anyhow, the important thing is that's where we're starting, with Mario and a bunch of guys who won 20% of their games last year. So we're going to have to trim this lineup down some, and as the title alluded to, I needed somebody from Pittsburgh to name the GM coach for this game, so we went with Mr. Rogers. A long-time Pittsburgh resident, filmed the show there, I think. 1951 graduate of Rollins College. Who else do you know that graduated from Rollins College, Adam?
No one?
I think not. Think hard. It's kind of obvious. Rollins College, Winter Park, Florida.
No, nothing.
Me, dumbass. Class of 51, I'm class of 97. Okay. So we got Mario here. What we've got around him, Mike Bullard had to put up, that's Mike Bullard, the hockey player, not the talk show host, two different guys. Had a good season last year, but he's about to start tailing off a bit. Doug Shedden, similarly, the point totals from some of these guys are the product of, being in the high scoring environment in the early 80s and also getting a ton of playing time on a bad team who just had no other alternatives. Yeah. But almost everything about this team is bad other than Mario.
Yeah, all the times we talk about Mike Bullard, the talk show host, I'm pretty sure like you and me are probably the only two people.
Oh, come on. Anybody that's Canadian knows who he is.
I don't think, Jeff, it's been like 25 years since he's been on TV.
Yeah, has it been that long? Doesn't he do other stuff?
The Mike Bullard show was on CTV, I remember, like around 2000.
I thought I remember seeing his name doing other stuff since then. Maybe not. Anyhow, the Penguins picked up Wayne Babbage from the Blues, who oddly left him exposed in the waiver draft this season. So he'd been a pretty decent player for St. Louis, had some injury issues over the last 3 years. But it was surprising that they exposed him, so Pittsburgh grabbed him, and he was a decent addition this year. Got Ricky, who's the Penguins' all-time points leader at this point, but he's 33, starting to tail off. And we got a kid who's been playing in the minors. Well, I can show you his career total up till now. One NHL game with Minnesota in '81, and played a little bit for the Penguins last year. Didn't do too badly, but been putting up minor league points. But he's a 28-year-old rookie now. And he is the guy in real life who wound up playing alongside Mario, and I can show you the real stats. And there we go, 84, 85, 72 points in his first season. But he's a big guy, he's fairly tough, so the Penguins wanted somebody to be like that, playing alongside Lemieux to protect him. And worked out pretty good for Warren Young. But we're going to have to trim this roster down some. The goaltending is a mess. Brian Ford is Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you might want to look at some new coaches, too.
Yeah,
it looks like there's a couple assistant coaches.
I'll hire that and get because there's going to be a few guys we need to pick up. But I'll trim the player roster down a little bit first. Brian Ford is a guy we picked up from Quebec. Never really had much of an NHL career, so he's going to be starting in the AHL. We've got two veteran NHL goalies, Michel Dion and Denny Heron. Heron is still hanging on at this point. He's got another season or two in him, I think. Dion has, this is the year he fell apart, basically. I think he played about 10 games and then went down to the minors, and then that was it for him. Had a pretty good WHA career, bounced around a lot, but then came up with Quebec, got traded to Pittsburgh. It was the starter in Pittsburgh for 81, 82, and I think maybe, I don't know, right in front of me, in 82, 83, and then but you can see the numbers gradually getting worse. 853 save percentage last year, which is awful even for the 80s. So I'll leave him up to start the season, and then we've got Roberto Romano, rookie, Italian-Canadian guy from Montreal who eventually wound up playing for the Italian national team. That's why he's marked as Italian in the game here. And let's start sending a few guys down. Mike Rowe, who started a software company that did pretty well. No?
Micro? Oh, no. Okay, so sorry, Jeff. I'm not gonna lie. I have the baseball game up right now, and it's kind of half distracting me.
It's still 6-1.
It is. It's bottom of 9 with 2 out already. So
okay, well, should be over quickly unless something really falls apart there. I should mention that obviously we had the release last week. This is FHM 12, and I'm playing a new build of it. We did a hotfix last week, at the end of last week, and we're going to do the first official update on, I think it's likely to be out on Friday. Going to fix a few more bugs, fix a couple of issues in the database that we couldn't do in the hotfix last week, but everything seems to be on track for that right now. If you see anything weird here, though, that's what's going on. I'm playing with the version of the new build. I haven't really had much of a look at yet. That's just from today. But no obvious problem so far. Greg Tevitt, I'm going to send him down. Good offensive defenseman in the minors, never really worked out in the NHL. Terry Letu, Finnish. I don't think he ever played. Just going to drop cleaning up the roster from the start of the game so we can focus on this a little bit better.
makes sense.
And you can see, I mean, what they've got here is basically just a bunch of stuff that other people didn't want, guys who were on the downside of their careers. one or two guys who eventually hung on long enough to be a part of the good Penguins teams. Bob Airy, obviously. One of them, Ted Bully, who had been a good Hawk in the late 70s, but he's 29 here and he's bounced around from Washington to us. And he's pretty much a minor leaguer at this point.
Right, and the game is over.
And Jay's up 3-2.
Jays are up 3-2. Going home.
Yeah, so 2 shots to win it in Toronto. And then there's a good example of the guys who had been top players a couple of years before. Rod Schutt, one of them, I think he had 60 points in 81-82, and is a minor leaguer now at this point because he's fallen off so quickly. Jim Hamilton, who inadvertently helped Don Cherry get fired at one point. I think you can see it in his stats here. That's 78 season. He had a couple of points in the last few games. And Harry Sinden, the Bruins general manager, went into the Bruins dressing room because they had the Penguins in the first round and told them that they should watch out for Hamilton. And the players openly mocked him. So he blamed Cherry for that, and Cherry was out shortly thereafter. But at this point, Hamilton is up and down from the minors and probably not playing for us this year. Pat Boutet, a pretty good Leaf, but he's slowing down at this point. Points have dropped off in each of the last 2 seasons. And Maloney is a little young at this point, but he'll get better. The one thing they've got going for them is that they're fairly tough. So they've got a lot of people who can protect Mario, just not many who can produce with him. How many forwards? Set down to 4, 7, 10, 12, 16. Got to cut a little deeper, but we'll get into camp for that. Maybe got Greg Fox a little underrated there, but gonna have to send him to the farm. Thornsby as well. Jet legend Mo Mantha is our best defenseman.
Oh, Mantha. Beautiful.
Norm Schmidt not quite ready for a...
Okay, I'm officially going to say Steam is not working, too. Unfortunately.
Weird. I don't know why. Everything seemed the test ran okay, so I'll have to dig into that and see why it's not streaming on there as well. But we could at least have the 2 Twitch channels working. So then on the depth chart, we've got a few more familiar names coming up. Frank Pietrangelo, we haven't signed yet. Kevin Stevens, I think he's still at Boston College. And yeah, sorted other guys. But this is going to be a rough first year. The question is primarily, who do we play Mario with?
Himself, obviously.
Oh,
again, for people who are not familiar with 1980s hockey, which might be lots, Jeff, tell us about the waiver, because it's different than kind of current day.
Well, we've got the waiver draft at the start of the season. Waivers in this actually operate on the current rules. That applies to.
Well, I was more referring to the waiver draft, but
yeah, there's basically a draft at the start of the season. We have to submit a protected list. Anybody not on that list can be grabbed by other teams. Other teams are not going to want the crap we have. So we'll hopefully be able to get a decent player out of that. Like in real life, Babbage is on the roster here to begin the season, but that's how they got him. And our farm team is in Baltimore, the AHL. So I think, did we share that with... I can't remember if they were sharing that with Washington at this point. I don't think so. I think that was later. Uh, oh, staff. That's what I was doing. Oops. What were you saying we needed?
Okay, so I actually fired our entire staff and hired some new guys. And I can tell you who I hired if you would like.
Let me have a look. See what. Yeah, these guys are all.
Smelly Wrestling Geek, have either you seen random or blank jerseys load on some players? No, not personally. Check and see if you have blank jerseys in your file, though. That used to happen, I want to say like 6 versions ago, Jeff.
The gray blank jerseys, or.
Yeah. Is it a gray blank jersey? Smelly Wrestling Geek?
Okay, couldn't leave the scouts alone. But we're hiring staff, so let me see what.
Well, I can give you some names to find.
First things to try. Well, I'm just going to go through here and. Filter it down to assistant coaches. And it looks like Chandler is the goalie coach. Any of these guys you're seeing here, ones you hired?
Well, here's the guys who I hired. It was Matt Gadavekis as the goalie coach.
You have to spell it. Oh,
G
good.
G A
Yeah,
T
I
A.
hired. Okay, yeah, I hired the other guy. There was another very good.
Okay. Then I hired Dan Chandler as defensive coach.
Don't see him.
Okay, Doug Brugham, who you just had there, was my skill coach.
I hire a different defensive coach, Doug. Oh yeah.
I just saw him on your list.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Matt. Okay. And then
Good.
Ken Thompson as my offensive coach. Or random team jersey. It's sometimes white. Or random team jersey. I have not seen that, Smelly Wrestling Geek.
Can hire Gadavekis anyhow because he's good with prospects.
You only hired him for 1 season.
Could renew.
Brugham was the skills coach.
I'd already hired, Chandler I'd hired as the goalie coach.
Okay. He's a good defensive coach, too.
But I got a different guy. Bro is better as defensive coach.
Thompson as offense.
Oh, Bro
And
is also
Brugham.
good skills for guys. Yeah, skill coach. Is the trainer okay?
Yeah, a trainer was excellent.
Okay.
So. Also, you have to go hire a hilarious scout. Not hilarious, but hilarious in the fact that you need to have him on your staff.
I'm guessing who? Messier's dad? Something like that?
No, not at all.
Okay, who?
Look at the United States and sort by potential for scouts.
Just give me the name.
He'll be the top guy. If you're searching scouts. Scouts, not staff. Scouts, not
from
staff.
the scout screen.
Yeah.
That guy's not going to turn anything. You want to hire him for?
Actually, the Canadian one gets pretty good too because you can get Sam Pollock, Ken Holland.
Pollock was only 58 in 84. Huh. Yeah, a few other Jim Gregory, future Leafs or
Yeah.
Leafs GM Mike Penny, Canucks scout,
I get Howie Meeker, 61-year-old.
Father
Red
David
Kelly,
Father David Bauer,
Ted Lindsay.
Dick Cherry, Don Cherry's brother. Oh, there's an ex-Penguin there. I'm going to hire Vic Hadfield. Okay, so scouting. I should probably try and get maybe another couple of Americans in there. Oh yeah, we're pretty bad other than Canada. It's not as important in a historical game, but
Well, it depends how much you know, Jeff, I think is more.
yeah. But we are gonna be able to go on what we know. How's that? Okay, getting off the red at least, and Western Europe. One doesn't do it.
Can you not sign foreign or Eastern European scouts at this time?
Hang on, let me look.
It's not letting me.
May not. That may be the Iron Curtain rule. Blocking Eastern European. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I could theoretically hire Tikhonov. Oh yeah, it will block you. Makes sense. Okay, I think we got the lineup trimmed down enough for preseason now. We can start showing off some of the new stuff for FHM 12 here. Preseason training programs.
Oh, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
hold on. Before you go, check your roster and check the amount of contracts you have.
Oh, am I over? 52. Okay, I'm going to have to trim that down.
I think there's some natural cuts, like Steve Carlson, maybe.
Yep.
Chris McCauley. Just looking who's at the bottom of the depth chart.
Yeah. I'm just going by the stars. How far down do you think we need to go get to about 45?
I mean, if you get to 47, you might be able to move some guys in trades. Oh man, tell me you didn't cut Greg T-Butt.
I did. I also cut Mike Rowe so he can get a start on his programming career.
Harsh.
Okay. So
You should probably cut Mario Lemieux too.
that'd make this challenging, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah, but let's get over to training. We're in the preseason. We're a little farther along, so should get these guys started right away. What do we want, Mario? Do we want to have Mario focus on a specific skill right away? I think we're just
Fighting skill. Fighting skill.
I think we're just going to get him to crank up his offense to begin with. And you see that's all, we had a nice blue bar there. There's no projected shortfall, so we should be fine with that. But who else? Warren Young, 28, but maybe he's got a little room to improve. And I'm going to be putting him with Lemieux this year, so improve his shooting, might not get all the way there.
Now, should you worry at all about these failing with the amount of time we have left?
Yeah, it's with that little bit of a red bar, I think we'll be okay, and I'll be careful about making sure these guys get into preseason games, which will help them progress. And I'm going to keep the categories fairly broad and just focus on my young players. I'm not going to go, as it's riskier to train specific skills, so I'll go with the wider categories. And I think that's a bug we fixed there. I don't think that mental, or was that, oh no, that was on the other screen. The mental selection wasn't available for goalies, but it is now. It will be if I go over to the training screen in a second. Man, we're terrible. Oh, Andy Brickley. Got a little potential there. Oh, Bob Airy. I want him turning into a defensive forward, so that's good. A little bit of a potential shortfall there. And maybe another defenseman. Oh, totally missed him. Marty McSorley.
Stick swinging?
Oh, he's got potential shortfall there. Okay, that's going to be a little tight. And now the regular training screen. And let's see if that fix is working.
Now, as just Jeff said, as a reminder, this is a new test build for us.
That's weird. It's not letting me select Romano. Yeah, that might be something going on there. But yeah, general mental training is available for the goalie. Why can't I select Romano? That's worrying. And just general goaltending training. The general training is the equivalent of the old selecting, in the old system, just selecting the guy for the training bonus. And yeah, it's not letting me. Oh, is it blocking me if he's on a training program? Is
that could
Mario
be
like that? Yeah, that's not intended. Got to talk with Malte about that, unless that's something he's done for some reason. I don't think so, but that shouldn't be like that. Although I will be able to. Geek. Actually, I'm going to wait on training until the start of the regular season. After that stuff will be cleared. Yeah, probably Friday. Smelly Wrestling Geek. Working on it right now. This is a new build, so we're testing at the moment, and may find some stuff to fix yet, and any other. There's probably a few more things we want to fit in, and we've got a database update we need to rebuild the leaderboards for that, but corrects a few things. Best free agent currently available is on our farm team. It's Bruce Boudreau, AHL legend, 3 consecutive 100-point seasons. Oh, and I forgot, it's Canada Cup this year. This, was this the cup where, yeah, I think this is the one where the Soviets completely crushed Canada.
Sorry, I have to step away for a second.
Just saying the Canada Cup is happening this year. Oh, wait, no, that was the 81 Canada Cup. This is 84. We won this one. And on a bit of a limited budget, not surprising for the early mid-80s Penguins. So I'm going to be careful with what I spend. And Lou's going to have a look at the Canada Cup. Actually, I'm just going to go to the next day. Let's take a quick look at the Canada Cup rosters. If you're not familiar, this was sort of the predecessor to the World Cup. NHL-sponsored tournament. Well, no, it actually wasn't NHL-sponsored. I think Hockey Canada was mostly the one doing this. But, oh, wow, that's Steve Penny, who'd had a great playoff in Montreal the year before, somehow got the third goalie job after Fuhr and Liut. That's surprising. But the rest of the team pretty much as expected. Coffey, Carlisle. Yeah, Scott Stevens is on there. He's a little young to be on there. Oh, no, wait. He'd been in the league a couple of years at this point. But the rest, Gretzky. And Mario, they did put Mario on the team to start. Dale Howardchuk. And it's a very good Canada team. The problem is there's also a very good Soviet team.
We're not playing in the NHL this time.
Tretiak is a little bit past his prime at this point, so that's the one thing where they may be a little bit weak at, but they've got the KLM line, Krutov, Larionov, and Makarov, and Fetisov is there, Kazatonov as well. So they got the Russian Big Five, so it's going to be a tough tournament for Canada. Come back to that and see how it went. Off-season training. It worked already. Mario has gotten his improved by 1 in passing and shooting range, so very nice. Oh, and that's bad news for the Canada and the Oilers. Strained hip muscle, and he's going to miss the whole tournament. So no Gretzky. Canada is 5-0 despite that. So they did manage to beat the Soviets. Soviets actually lost a couple of games. Who beat them? The U.S.? The U.S. shouldn't be that strong. Oh, they're getting... Actually, no, this isn't... Yeah, the U.S. is starting to get quite a bit better at this point. That's actually a pretty solid team. It'll continue to get better, but yeah, this is... By far, it's much better than the team they had in '81. And they've got a very young Van Beesbrook and Barrasso on goal. Now, the Americans might pull off an upset here in the Canada Cup. We're going to have to decide on our captains. And Canada won the Canada Cup, apparently. 2-1 win against the Americans in the final. The Americans beat the Soviets 6-2 in the semifinals. So that's an upset there. Czechs 4th, Sweden and West Germany in 6th. And Finland didn't even play in this one. And the leading scorer with Gretzky out was Vyacheslav Bekov from the Soviet Union, and the best top Canadians were Goulet and Bork. And Gretzky was nearly the leader despite going out early. So a good win for Canada there. And we are up to the first preseason game. Now I can go back to the training screen here, the preseason training program. And the only one that's really concerning right now is McSorley. He's a little behind, so we're going to have to make sure we play him in as much of the preseason as possible. I think everybody else will be okay. I don't... Can I sneak in another improvement on Mario here? No, I don't like that. It's too much red. What I should have done, since he had made Team Canada, I didn't even think of that. I could have put him back in right away, and the Team Canada games probably would have pushed that up into a better than even chance, but I don't want to... Well... sure, let's leave it in. I could cancel it, but I'm going to make sure he gets into every preseason game. And hopefully that's enough to keep him, because the risk there is if he doesn't complete the program properly, he may see some of his skills go downhill, which obviously we want to avoid. So I'm just going to pick out the lineup for the first game, apparently against the Jets. And then making sure Mario and McSorley both get in there.
You need to name captains.
Yep, I saw it.
Okay.
And 5 more. So, captains. I think it's a little early to make Mario the captain, even though he's.
Looking at the team, it might not be.
I think, if I remember right, Ari was the captain at this point, so we will give it to him for at least his first season. Mario can have an A.
The 20-year-old gets it instead of the 18-year-old. Okay.
And Bullard have the other one. Yeah,
I thought you would give it to. Just go with a completely young group.
And what does the AI want to do with the lines? Actually, wait. Let the AI set the rolls up first, see if we get sensible ones out of it. And then if we do the lines. I'm going to quickly scan through the players and just see if they make sure they've got a reasonable role selected. Bodger, I don't really want rushing at this point. Let's keep him more of a 2A guy. It's his rookie year as well. I think the Penguins had 3 draft picks this first year. Or 3 first-round picks. Lemieux's year, Bodger turned out. The other guy, is that Alain Boulanger, I think?
Could be.
He didn't work out quite as well. And again, yeah, these are pretty much all cast-offs from other teams or guys who are good at one point and are heading downhill. There's not a lot to go on here. So it's one of the things we're going to have to worry about in this stream is bringing in replacements as quickly as possible, because
we don't have much.
Yeah, and McSorley isn't enforced, so that makes sense. We don't want to get fired before we even get going. Wrestling's an agitator? No. Wrestling, goon. Young, yeah, stand in front of the net. Tet, more of a playmaker.
Choices.
Don't like Mario as a perimeter shooter. But it's that or Dangler. Yeah. Or screener, but no, let's leave him there. I think he'll get up to 20 in a few other categories soon, so we can always shift him out of that. But I don't want Shedden doing the same thing. Mark Taylor, who is, I think, the grandson of Cyclone Taylor. Grandson or great-grandson? No, that's about, 70 years separating them?
Yeah, it should be grandson.
A lot of grinders on this team.
Grinding victories, obviously.
Okay, there we go. Now let's try the lines. Because the AI the roles players are set in will have an effect on how the AI sets up its lines. So Bullard and Babich, no, that's not. What did it do with Warren Young? Or did I leave Warren Young out? Whoops. So we will put Young with Lemieux to begin with. Put Babbage on the other line, on the other side as a veteran. Can Shedden play left wing? Yeah, he can. That makes more sense. And Bullard is the second line. So basically, last year's first line is this year's second line. And then that gets ugly. On the
Billy
defense.
Wrestling Geek asking, when will the current database be released?
Haven't decided for sure yet, but normally we do that. We'll probably get, I think, one more. We've got a data deadline in a week and a half. That one won't be the current database, so probably looking at I'm going to say 4 weeks to be safe. And that'll give me time to go in and update everything for this season's performance. Okay, and tactics. Gonna have to go through these individually to see what works. Oh, okay, so we got some forwards high apparently works very well for us. Dump and chase is mostly neutral, but yeah, funnel to we really want this to be focused on going up through the middle to take advantage of Lemieux. But Lemieux works with almost everything, it looks like. Tactically, it's actually not looking too bad. So at least these guys can play with most of the systems we might set up. But I'm still not expecting great results in the first season.
You never know. Maybe you'll get surprised.
Which will get us another high draft pick, though.
Or fired.
That too. And I'm just scrolling through the tactics, looking for the ones. Well, that's Umbrella is a really good fit for us. The things that have got a lot of great fits are good fits, and I want to avoid bad or terrible on key players, but I can afford maybe one or two. Power play we're going to get killed on the power play. Yeah, we're not. Special teams, I think, are going to be an issue. Counterattack looks good there. Up the attacking a little bit. Move the puck around, higher tempo. It's the 80, so it'll be a little aggressive on the hitting, and everything else looks good. Oh, we did just fix a bug with the goalie settings there. It was reverting to very slow. If you started a game in the 2D engine, that should be okay now. All right, I think that's good. And the opener against the Dale Hawerchuk-led Winnipeg Jets. Or at least the exhibition opener. And it's a 7-1 win. Although, I mean, we started our regular season lineup and they've probably got a lot of, yeah, there's rookies and various other things mixed in there. Not exactly the Jets' full lineup. And Brian Hayward, not the most memorable Jets goalie of all time. But a good effort from us. And, yeah. Is he even in top 5, top 10?
I don't know. He's a name you recognize over some other ones.
Okay, captains are set. Preseason has started. Some minor deal between Quebec and Washington. Jeff Sauvé for Bobby Gould. Now I can swap some guys in and out here. some other guys some preseason time. Oops. And second game of the season, we'll give Romano the start. A 2-win. So yeah, starting our full lineup against other teams' rookies and preseason guys. It's working out pretty well so far. Gary Rissling should have a pretty impressive penalty minute total here. 20 penalty minutes. Good preseason game. And Mario, 3 more points. Continuing to do well. How is the training coming along? So see, the red part is dipped down a bit, and then McSorley is safe as well. So getting the guys into those early games is keeping their training program on track, and they should all be finished in a week or so. Except for Mario, is going to be a little bit longer. And Bob Aries' training program is done, and his hitting improves. Small trade between Montreal and the Rangers. And keep swapping guys in and out here.
Taking a quick peek at upcoming what the waiver draft might look like. There's some players who could help. Good news is you have first pick in the waiver draft too.
Oh yeah, because we finished last overall, the waiver draft was done in reverse order of the previous season's standings. So I'm not paying too much attention to where these guys are playing. Just getting some playing time for everybody in. Dion can start this one. And 6-2 win, despite having the third string goalie in. Todd Charlesworth, rookie defenseman, with 3 points. And Mario with another goal. And Romano's off-season training pays off, improves his glove hand. Oh, the Oilers dump Charlie Hetty to Boston. No, for Tom Fergus. Interesting trade. Fergus did wind up in Edmonton eventually, if I remember right. Oh, no, Vancouver. Should know that. No, I want to leave... I want to leave Young in because the more time he gets with Mario, the better. Hopefully want to assign or get some chemistry between them to begin with. And 7-4 wins, so cruising through the preseason. I think that's going to change, and Randy Hillier got hurt. Dizziness and nausea, nothing too big. And I'm going to cut a couple of guys. Joe McDonald, who's a Canucks cast off, he can go down. Hotham, I don't think is going to make it in. And you leading the preseason scoring as well. And 3 more pays off, although Brickley wound up improving in fighting, which we don't really need from him. McSorley is up a little in acceleration, and Young gets his shooting. So everything working out because we did everything with enough lead time, and Mario is looking good for finishing his as well. Bodger's just about done his. I could try to squeeze in more at the end, but almost I can show you what'll happen if I tried to say get more out of, if I tried to improve Young's screening, see how red that's going to be. He's almost certainly not going to finish that. And when he fails to finish it, there's a chance that his skill will go down instead of up. So don't want to do that unless I was really desperate. And then he gets the Wings, who are pretty bad at this point too. But we lose to them, 5-4. Ron Duguay. 3 points in the first star. And Lemieux still had a pretty decent game, 1 assist. And is this the last exhibition game? I think so. Yeah, last one against the Islanders, then we'll get the waiver draft coming up. So, and I'll redo the lines and set up the training at the beginning of the, or at least after this game. And 6-2 win over the Islanders. Fairly impressive because they're still coming off their dynasty years. Now, I have to trim the roster down a bit. I want to get down to at least 23, and we got 26, so redo the lines too as well. Gatsos, I think, is going to have to go to Baltimore as is. Should be Ristling, but I want a tough guy there. And let's see, Hillier. They're all 2-star. Starley isn't. Again, I want to keep that toughness around. Buskus, I guess. Oh, and a goalie. I forgot about that. Okay, and you can see some of the single game records are getting updated for our farm team in Baltimore. We're working on getting more of the real team records in. Hasn't quite happened yet, but you'll start to see less of the spam once we do. Oh, big trade. Dale Hunter traded to the Jets for Randy Carlyle.
That's interesting.
Former Norris winner Randy Carlyle lasts all of 5 games with the Jets after he's traded near the deadline last year. And the Jets get Dale Hunter.
Toughening up.
For sure.
Ferguson wants a piece of everybody, apparently.
Now, training. Yeah, there we go. See, the training programs are blocking that, so we're going to have to work on that. Lemieux, I want him focused on his offensive read. And you can see as I choose these, it's highlighting the appropriate column. And it's the same, works pretty much the same way as training did before. You want to keep that bonus number ideally above 10. And mental training, you're not allowed to pick specific attributes there, just general. So everything's still at 20, and I can squeeze a bunch of extra training out of here, make McSorley more physical. Want to focus on the young guys. Still got a little room to train there. And area, I want to develop him into it, checking forward.
Now the Wrestling Geek asked, does a higher number mean a greater chance for improvement?
Yeah, it's the coaching bonus, so the higher that is, the more help he's getting from the coaching staff. But you don't want to spread it too thin, so I generally try to keep that above 10. And let's see, 12. Oops, went too low there. Cancel that. 11, 16 in offensive, so I can bump that up a bit. And that looks good. And you see there on the October 9th coming up, I've got submit protecting lists. That's for the waiver draft. And see, we're running a little bit low on time here, so let's get that done, and then I think we'll call it a night for this week. A little bit of offense, a little bit of off-season training improvement there. Where's the protected list? There we go. So 2 goalies, 18 skaters. Honestly, I don't really need to protect any goalies here, but it'll be Aaron and, well, Ford's got more potential than Dion. If somebody wants Dion, they can have him. And the younger players are ineligible for this, so I don't have to protect Bodger or Mario or basically any of the critical young guys. Yeah, I'm protecting guys who have very little chance of being chosen, even if I left them unprotected.
Well, I mean, gotta make guys feel special somehow.
Jesus, still have 5 left, and I'm down to protecting career AHLers.
Well, we want Baltimore to be successful, obviously.
And see, Oiler cast off Tom Ralston, Canuck cast off Joe McDonald, Leaf cast off Greg Hotham, our own homegrown Jim Hamilton, or Capitals cast off Tim Tookie. Tookie's the best of them, so we'll protect him. And we'll have the waiver draft the next day. Couple of trades going on, but we get to draft first. Oh, and ironically, the best player out there is Paul Gardner, who we dumped to Washington in the offseason. But had been a pretty good Penguin for a couple of years prior, so we could bring him back. Had veteran Dan Bouchard in goal. It was not really an upgrade on anything we've got. Yeah, this is not a great waiver draft. You can see how little talent was available in these things.
You got worse than I did on mine. Mine looks so much better.
We got some younger guys at least, or some decent checking forwards. Robbie Fedoruk, whose career is about done at this point.
I got Keith Acton was the top guy in mine.
Yeah, decent. Greg Terrion, who had been, he's in Toronto by this point, and don't think he really improved from this point. Mike Crombie, decent checking forward, but I think he's largely finished. This is pretty terrible.
Yes, Inco was there too.
Well, if you want some toughness ball home runs out there, but not really better than anything we've got already. Some old familiar names, but
Okay,
all of whom are pretty much Billy Smith. The Islanders made Billy Smith available, but he's near the end.
be interesting.
Ah,
Goaltending up.
no. I see what we're doing here.
Tiger Williams. You have to
Yep.
bring in the Canuck.
This is after Tiger Williams sort of ran afoul of the Canucks ownership. They done a new general manager. They dumped him to Detroit for Rob McClanahan, who I think retired right away. And he wasn't, Tiger didn't get along with the Red Wings management either. And you can see here they've put him on the waiver list. He had a bit of a comeback with the Kings. It was a couple of years. He went to the Whalers and then on to the Kings, where he had another, I think, 40 or 50 point year. So he wasn't done by this point. So I'm going to take him, and one more guy to protect Mario.
You hope.
And let's see what else gets taken. Just do pick until human. Oh, okay, we got one of our guys selected, which allows us to protect a different guy. So Paul Gardner goes to the Wings. Billy Smith winds up in Winnipeg. So you got a washed up Billy Smith with the Jets now.
Wow, that still improves their goaltending situation.
George McPhee to Calgary, and we lost Joe McDonnell. So that lets us protect somebody else. So I will protect Hoffman.
So who do the Islanders have in goal that they feel good enough leaving Billy Smith out?
Kelly Rudy and Roland Melanson, which is kind of sensible.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the guy they wound up moving was Melanson eventually, but I mean, Smith's cups are behind him at this point, so it's a decent decision. And we had one of our guys picked. We can fill in with somebody. I'm just going to protect our own.
Again,
here.
You went from, we're never going to lose anyone to...
Oh, it's over. Okay, forgot. Yeah, that's the end. That was 21. Pick 21 at the end of the first round. Nick Fotiu heads across town from the Rangers to the Islanders. Bouchard goes to Washington. Ted Nolan, future coach, goes to the Nordiques. Anybody else interesting in there? Not particularly, but the big pickup there for us is Tiger Williams. So first off, is anybody wearing 22? Bullard is. Not anymore. He isn't. He can have 19.
Wow.
Yep.
Disrupting the flow.
Leading scorer in the team last year has to give up his number to Tiger Williams. I won't hear of anything else.
Crazy.
And we got some lines to set up here, but I think we're getting a little late in the evening, so I think we will cut it off at this point. Williams back with his old Leaf teammate Boutet, but we will worry about that next time. So I think we got our first year's Penguin team set up for whatever it's worth. This may not be pretty, but let's see if we can make it to say 25 wins this year.
I'm going to say you should probably turn on, if you don't have it on, players available on waivers at 1.5 stars.
Good point.
In case somebody interesting pops up. Like I know there is a couple guys, including future Penguins, who could end up getting cut off, like Willie Lindstrom in Edmonton or something like that.
Yeah. But I'll just continue to the waiver draft, and I think we can wrap it up here, Adam.
All right. With that, then, thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. We stream archives going live Saturdays at about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for European viewers. Of course, you can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as Bluesky is @Franchise Hockey. And of course, you can find us on any other social medias. We have Threads, Instagram, whatever. You come out on our official website, which again, if you go to ootpdevelopments.com, and if you put in -FHM social, that'll actually bring you up to all of our social channels that you can instantly click and get to us very quickly, including our Twitch channels. And of course, click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to the official forums where you can come talk about French's Hockey Manager, Out of Puck Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered everything there. Season preview says Mario is actually going to challenge Gretzky in his first year, so I don't think that's going to happen. For the scoring title, I mean. Probably not going to happen. Training update, and... Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Barry Melrose got traded in the twilight of his career. Has gone from the Rangers farm team to presumably, or the Wings farm team to the... Oh, the Rangers are actually going to keep him in the lineup? Oh no, they sent him down. Okay, yeah. So we'll be back next time with the next version, or the first Penguins season. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for coming out. And as I mentioned before, assuming everything goes okay, I think we'll have another update for you guys on Friday on the game. So the first, after the hotfix, the first real bug fix update. Just got to apparently have a couple of things I want to check on that based on what I've seen tonight too. But I'm playing the new build here, and it seems to have been mostly okay so far. So keep an eye out for that coming. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you in a week from now.